And I'm gonna be honest, I found Street Fighter a really difficult sell. I was just like, so how do you feel about Street Fighter 5 now that you've played a round of arcade mode? And she goes, I don't understand why I have so many punches and so many kicks. How are you all doing? I've changed the setup a bit. Remember my hand used to like disappear right around here? Look what I can do now. I'm quite proud of this. Time to try and learn BBTag in half an hour. Oh, you can learn in half an hour, no problem. This is your Dragon Punch. In general, not everyone has it. Actually, what I did want to talk about, briefly before we begin, is that I just played this game for like 4 hours yesterday with my friend. She had never played like any fighting games ever. And right after playing BlazBlue Cross Tag for like 4 hours, we played Street Fighter 5. And I'm gonna be honest, I found Street Fighter a really difficult sell. I found it very, very difficult to sell Street Fighter 5 to her after playing this game because she tried out BlazBlue Cross Tag, and I taught her how to press the main attack buttons, told her how to do an overhead. I'll tell you what, the fact that overhead is a button was really helpful. I was like, in this game, you can jump, you can walk, and you can crouch. But if you're crouching and you're blocking, because you can block standing and crouch crouching, if someone just sits there blocking while crouching, then you just whack them with the overhead. One, they're unlikely to react to it too fast, and two, it's just a button. You just press this button and you do an overhead. And that was so helpful when explaining it to her. She was just like, okay, and I saw it every time her opponent was crouching. She was just like, overhead, overhead. I was like, wow, this is brilliant. So this game really, really, really helped explain concepts about fighting games that do transfer to other fighting games. The only thing is that, see this? She had like her attack button A and attack button B, and then we went over to Street Fighter 5 and she had like punch, 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 kick, kick, kick. There were like 3 punches and 3 kicks. And I was just like, so how do you feel about Street Fighter 5 now that you've played a round of arcade mode? And she goes, I don't understand why I have so many punches and so many kicks. Because on Street Fighter you've got like punch, 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 kick, kick, kick. She was like, why, what is the point of these punches and these kicks? I was like, well, they do more damage. And she was like, in easy mode, she was like, well, don't even really need any more damage. So she was just running in, light punching all her enemies to death. And obviously, as you all know, that won't really work out for you in the long run. You do need to learn how to use your heavy buttons in Street Fighter, especially if you're going to be doing combos and stuff. But for a beginner, it's just not clear. It's like, why isn't it just like Street Fighter 1 with 2 buttons? Why do we need 6 buttons? And then on top of those 6 buttons, if you press the blue ones together, it's a V skill, and if you press the yellow ones together, it's a V trigger, and if you press the red ones together, it's a throw. And so on top of the 6 buttons, you've also got these 3 button combinations, and it just doesn't seem to make that much sense. But with BBTag, even though she had never played a fighting game before, she was like, this makes sense. This one is my punch button, and this one is my sword button. So that's the way she saw it. Because she was playing Linné, and Linné, this is like a kick with Linné, and like triangle was a sword, and it just made more sense to her. She was like, it seems like if I press this button I do a bunch of kicks, and if I do this button it does a bunch of swords, and that was it. And that's not to say that all fighting games should be like that, absolutely not. I really want her to eventually play Street Fighter actually, but explaining a game to a new player, BBTag worked so well. That's all I wanted to say. I think it is a good way to learn your fundamentals. If you're absolutely certain that you're going to move into playing Street Fighter eventually, then I would say that you don't have to play BBTag first. It's not like before you play Street Fighter you really should play this first. I wouldn't say that. But especially because the jumping in this game is a really different beast. So I wouldn't say people have to play this game first, but man, it made it so much more fun and easy to explain it, because we went into Street Fighter and she was like, I don't understand where's the fun? Where's the fun in this? What's this? Crouch blocking and blocking in general is the hardest thing for newbies to pick up. Yeah, and you know what? BBTag made it so much easier. She understood immediately. so many things like the normal direction normal and dash normal to add some proximity. You know what? This friend of mine, she had never played fighting games before, and she understood how to cancel moves and dash cancel stuff. Like after Linnea's combos, a lot of her combos you can finish them off with a dash and cancel the animation, right? She picked it up really fast, really quickly though. Guilty Gear. I was tempted to show her a bit of Guilty Gear. I think animation-wise it would have, she may have liked it because it's quite flashy. But in the end, I think BBTag was probably the right decision. Especially because I'm not an expert at Guilty Gear, so I can't really explain it as well. But I feel like I know cross tag fairly well enough to explain it to a beginner. Oh, and you know what? Learning supers was easier as well, because in this game you can do a super with one quarter circle motion. So I found that was significantly easier. Plus, I liked that there were no Dragon Punch motions in this game. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like Dragon Punch motions. With Street Fighter, I prefer that it has the Dragon Punch motion to do the DP, whereas in BBTag you just like press a couple buttons, right? For explaining to a friend who was new to fighting games, not having to contend with the Shoryuken forward, down, forward motion helped a lot. I think supers with a single quarter circle motion are fine. I don't want them to take it out of Street Fighter, but the truth is, it's not necessary. Double quarter circle motions for supers aren't necessary. They're necessary in Street Fighter because we're running out of buttons in Street Fighter. Pressing two buttons at the same time is difficult because which combination do you use? Now we've already used both reds, both blues, and both yellows. That's already combinations that are used for other things in Street Fighter. And then trying to press B, C at the same time, triangle and R1 at the same time. That's already being used for EX moves. So Street Fighter, I think it would be difficult to get rid of the quarter circle, the double quarter circle motion. Iron Fist Munch. I've got the Iron Fist Munchies. Astral. And you know what? She really liked the Astral finish thing as well. She thought that was epic. She was like laughing out loud. She's like, what just happened? My friend who was just getting into fighting games. I was like, the likelihood that you're gonna use an Astral when you're a beginner is highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that you'll reach that stage where you can do an Astral. But if you do manage it, it is funny. Azrael needs to wear his jacket properly. You tell him. You tell him. Tell him to his face. I'd like to see you walk up to Azrael in his face and say, "Wear your jacket properly, stupid." That would be fun to see how he reacts. That would make for a good comic strip, wouldn't it? I almost did a bit of that combo that I was learning. No way! Did I get you into fighting games? Makes me happy to hear that. Shame I have no idea how to use Naruto right now. Jin! Get that Jin out of my screen. You disgusting, hideous thing. That could have been a combo, huh? Well, one day I'll actually learn my combos. Get that Jin out of my screen! Get that Jin off my screen! Ew, no! I don't want to play Jin again.